This summer, the world's greatest athletes are competing on the global stage in front of an audience of billions. They've been training their whole lives for this moment, and now you get the chance to hear their stories up close and personal. This is Nike On Air, a series about elite athletes brought to you by Nike. You'll hear from the world's fastest woman, Tatiana McFadden, the breakout breaking star, Sunny Choi, basketball legend John Staley, and more. Listen to Nike On Air starting July 7th, only on the Womanica podcast feed. Hello. From Wonder Media Network, I'm Jenny Kaplan, and this is Womanica. This month, we're celebrating women who performed physical and mental feats in sports. They overcame societal barriers, personal struggles, and fierce competition to pursue their dreams of glory. We're talking about athletes. It's May 20th, 1900. There's a light breeze in the air. 65 yachts span over a stretch of water in Paris, France, all competing to qualify for the Olympic Games. In the crowd of sails and splashing water, one woman stands out in a sea of men. Let's talk about Hélène de Pourtalès. Hélène was born in New York in 1868. She grew up in comfort. Her father was a wealthy Swiss banker, and her mother was part of an affluent family in the tobacco business. Hélène held dual citizenship between the United States and Switzerland, so in the summers, she would go to Switzerland and spend her time there yachting on the water. Hélène kept up with the latest boating news in the region and loved to talk about the sport with guests at lavish parties. When she was 23 years old, Hélène married Hermann Alexander, Count von Pourtalès. He was a Swiss sailor. The couple sailed together and competed as a team in regattas on Lake Geneva and around Cannes. Hélène was a skilled sailor, and she spent every summer on the lake training. Hélène and Hermann won several races in Switzerland and became increasingly competitive as a team. In 1900, they officially registered for the Olympic Games. Hélène was 32 years old at the time. The 1900 Olympics were held in Paris as part of the World Exposition. These were the first Olympic Games that allowed female athletes to participate. There were just 5 events in which women were permitted to compete: golf, tennis, sailing, croquet, and equestrian. Hélène was one of 22 women who participated. She was able to compete on behalf of Switzerland because she held dual citizenship. She, her husband, and her nephew sailed on a boat called l'Arena. The course was full of technical challenges, but the l'Arena was up to the task. The crew sailed 2 races, earning gold in the first and silver in the second. At the end of the ceremonies, Hélène and several other women were honored as the first female Olympic champions in history. Although Hélène became well known in her aristocratic Swiss circles after winning gold, she remained relatively anonymous to the rest of the world. Despite her immense accomplishment, many people still believed that women should not compete in the Olympics along with men. Hélène and Hermann lived together in a Swiss manor house for 4 years until he died in 1904. He left behind nearly $6 million for Hélène. She continued to split her time between Switzerland and Paris until her death in 1945. She was 77 years old. All month, we're talking about athletes. For more information, find us on Facebook and Instagram at Womanica Podcast. Special thanks to Liz Kaplan, my favorite sister and co-creator. Talk to you tomorrow. This summer, the world's greatest athletes are competing on the global stage in front of an audience of billions. They've been training their whole lives for this moment, and now you get the chance to hear their stories up close and personal. This is Nike On Air, a series about elite athletes brought to you by Nike. You'll hear from the world's fastest woman, Tatiana McFadden, the breakout breaking star, Sunny Choi, basketball legend John Staley, and more. Listen to Nike On Air starting July 7th, only on the Womanica podcast feed.
Residents at Brightview Senior Living Communities enjoy enhanced possibilities, independence, and choice. Brightview Dulles Corner in Herndon and Brightview, Great Falls, offer vibrant senior independent living, assisted living, and memory care services through various daily programs and cultural events. chef-prepared meals, safety and security, transportation, resort-style amenities, and high-quality care. Everything you need is here. Discover more at brightviewseniorliving.com. Equal housing opportunity.
Ever get the feeling someone's watching you? Well, in 1971, a group of anti-war activists had that feeling.
I was in the heart of the dragon, and it was my job to stop the fire.
So they decided to do something insane. Break in to the FBI and expose J. Edgar Hoover's dirty secrets.
We had some idea that this was pretty explosive.
I'm Ed Helms. Listen to Season 2 of Snafu on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
In 2009, Mitrice Richardson was released from the Malibu Lost Hills Sheriff Station, and she never made it home. Nearly a year later, Mitrice's remains were found in a canyon 6 miles from the station. Her death is Malibu's greatest unsolved mystery. I'm Dana Goodyear. In Lost Hills, Dark Canyon, what happened to Mitrice Richardson? Listen on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts.